Today is rather a special day for anybody who has an affection for the works of arguably our greatest playwright, William Shakespeare. 400 years ago, very roughly, I think it was 7 of his pieces of work were actually brought together into a single publication. And had that been lost, then some of the greatest plays that we've come to enjoy, such as Hamlet, would not actually have been discovered. It seems hard to believe, doesn't it? I'm sure there are some school children who would be quite delighted to find out that it hadn't, but nevertheless we must recognise that Shakespeare has had a transforming effect upon theatre life in this country. Not all theatre life is about Shakespeare. I've actually come down tonight to the Daneside Theatre because there is a production and rehearsal as we are waiting here, and we're going to go in and find out a little bit about live theatre. It's so easy these days, isn't it, to just get at home, sit in front of the television, turn on TV and watch an episode or two of one of the BBC's great dramas, but the reality is there is no substitute for live theatre. That's not only for the people that go to enjoy it, but the people that take part in it. Tonight, we're going to meet some of those people as they prepare for their production, which is going to take place at the Daneside Theatre later this month. So we've just taken a little bit of time out now to have a word with Jen Brassington. Jen's got the really hard work, which anybody has in any theatre group, which is to take a diverse number of people of different ages and to bring them together to help them not only remember their lines, but to then do what acting people do, tell a story and captivate their audiences. So I'm very keen to talk to Jen and find out why she's daft enough to do it, but more importantly, the role that she has and how she's come into theatre direction. So, Jen, lovely to see you tonight.
You too, thank you. So, a little bit about Phoenix. Phoenix Theatre Company, we started just before the pandemic, and it's a theatre company set up by myself, Becky Morley and Annabelle Hull, and we decided that we wanted to have a community theatre group that's open to everybody. We are very inclusive, and basically if you want to have a go at absolutely anything within the theatre, come and have a word and you could join us. So we started and we had our very first production, which was A Christmas Carol, and that was really good, and then unfortunately COVID hit and we sort of had to take a back seat, but we did a lot of online things. We even did an online play that we got our members to write, and that's on our website. You can go and have a look.
Have you not written already a play called The Curse of COVID or something like that?
Yeah, we should do, shouldn't we?
It could be really good.
Yeah.
At least it could give a smile to a few people,
absolutely,
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, we did do a one-act play competition, so you never know.
Well, I know we've got some poets out there listening, but if we've got any budding playwrights, or we've got young people that fancy having a go,
absolutely,
there's a challenge for you. Just give us a shout at Congleton Radio and we'll see what we can do. In fact, and here's a secret, did you know that Stuart Neal, who organises Congleton Radio, he's not a playwright, but he's a bit of an author.
Excellent.
Oh, he's got some hidden talents that he doesn't tell many people about, and so I'm telling you about them now. Yeah, sorry, and we're talking about the formation of Phoenix Theatre.
So that's how we joined. We started Phoenix, and then we've done a few plays since then. So we did Bouncers and Shakers, and we've literally just done The Memory of Water, which was a great play. And then off the back of that, we decided, because what we like to do is try and include children in productions, because although we're not an adult or a children's theatre group, we're sort of everybody's welcome. So the idea, our ethos is that we put on 2 plays a year, and one of them to include children.
Is that because they have less opportunity to do this in the school experience? I mean, I think when I was young, and I know listeners will sort of get sick and tired of hearing about when Vic was young, but when I was young, yeah, there were school plays every year, and you did, what did we do? Much Ado About Nothing we did. Pestle and Mortar, is that it? Yes, a play called The Pestle and Mortar. There we are, I've forgotten everything else about it, but it was a terrifying experience, but it was also a fun experience, and it taught you a lot of practical skills that you would use later in life.
Yes, and I do, and I think, I mean, I work in a school myself, and I know we put on a lot of school productions, but without harping on about the government and everything, they're cutting all theatre and live performances, and, you know, without the arts, you wouldn't have this, you wouldn't have music, you wouldn't have telly, you wouldn't have film, and they just don't seem to realise that.
I met Jordan Harding the other day, who is a rising opera star. Opera is being particularly hard hit at the moment. Clontarf Opera itself has got its 50th anniversary next year and has to raise a huge amount of money simply because it's lost arts funding. Yeah. It's a bit like extinct. I'm not saying you're an extinct species, no. You're going to become an extinct species, but yeah, we are concerned about things that we've taken for granted in the world, and they're dying out. And there is a very, very real danger that live performance in music, in arts, and in drama could just cease to be without people like yourself. Absolutely.
So we're very much keen on getting everybody involved. So the great thing about this play is the way it's written, it can be written for a cast of 4 or 5, I think it was, or you can actually, and so people doubling up on parts, or you can just cast each individual part. So I thought, do you know what, I'm going to have a big cast and I'm going to cast it. So we've got a cast of 19.
So you've said this play, but what play?
The play is The Wolves of Willhoughby Chase, and it's based loosely on the film that came out in the 80s. So it's a similar storyline, but it's now put to the stage. It's an incredibly strange play because it's set in 1852 but in a world that doesn't exist. So you've got James III on the throne. You've also got the fact that the Channel Tunnel has just been built, and that is why wolves have come back into England. So it's great to play with because although it's set back in 1850 whatever, it's now, we can do with it what we want. There's some really random things. There's an Ofsted inspector and he eats all these different cheeses that don't exist until now, but that's the play. So it's great. You can have great fun with things like this because you can go, okay, well, we can put that in.
So it's a bit sort of Harry Potterish in a way, is it?
Yeah, I do get what you mean.
It's in the mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's entirely in the mind.
And there's a lot of really quick scene changes. So again, we've made the decision that we want to use lighting, to use sound, to use the chorus to be the props, the set. So there isn't going to be, if you're going to come and expect to see a massive, fantastic set, then you're going to be disappointed. But you will love the fact that the chorus make up our set. So it's a moving live set. So again, it's something different that not many people try. I know we have a lot of productions here at Daneside, and the sets, you know, you can't take it away from them. They are absolutely fantastic. But because of the way that this story's told, it works well having your chorus making, you know, they're everything from villages to wolves to tunnels to trees to woods. It's trains, they're all sorts.
I kind of get the picture there. I must admit, recently on BBC I watched the performance for Henry V from the Globe.
Yeah.
And most of us have seen the film or something like that, and it's far grander, and of course we've got huge armies there chasing across the battlefields. There, of course, it was just the stage.
Yeah.
And it was the simplest of backdrops, and the rest of it was the quality of the acting, which took you totally into what was happening. You didn't need lavish lights, you didn't need lavish scenery, you didn't need special effects.
Yeah.
You just had the quality of acting.
And that's hopefully what we're going to have the same thing here, because we've got quite a bit. I think we've got 2 different families involved. In fact, no, we've got more than that. There's 3 or 4 families involved in it. There's, sisters and brothers together. There's mums, dads. It's absolutely great that people have all come and we all want to be involved.
And civic dignitaries, I gather.
Absolutely, yes, we are the first theatre company. It's very important to have the mayor. Our mayor of Congleton is joining us on stage, and he's absolutely loving it. He's really enjoying it.
I think. I mean, Rob's only just started his year. He'll be known as the people's mayor, I
Absolutely.
think, because he just so loves going out there and meeting groups, talking to them, encouraging them, getting his hands dirty.
Absolutely. I mean, he came to watch The Memory of Water that we did, and we were talking to him afterwards, and as you know, and you sort of jokingly say, or not joking, but half serious, go, "Do you ever want to join in?" He went, "Actually, can I come to the read through?" And I was like, "Absolutely." So he came along and came to read through, and then said, "Well, if you'd like me to audition," and I thought, actually, do you know what? I've got just the part for you, and I don't want to spoil it and say what he is, but he's a very key part.
Well, I tell you what, Rob, I know you'll be listening to this, so I want you to promise me one thing. We ensure that the entire cast gets a free bacon butty, if it is the bacon butty they like, because if they're vegetarian it might not be their taste. But, you know, just remember the rest of the cast, because they do get very hungry in their rehearsals, you know, and I'm sure you can help out. Thanks, Rob. There we go. Yes, look, you're great. You're wonderful. You're the best mayor they've had since last year.
He's definitely the best mayor we've had. He's great. So the play itself is on in 2 weeks' time. It's on from Wednesday the 22nd until Saturday the 25th of November. You can get tickets from the Town Hall, the Tourist Information Centre, and also on Ticket Source. The link's on the Daneside webpage, or it's also on our page if you were to go to phoenixtheatrecomp.co.uk, and our website is Phoenix Theatre Congleton is the Facebook page. Yes.
And these tickets are only £40 a piece.
Absolutely, bargain.
Absolute bargain.
Well, they're £10 a ticket, and if you were to join Phoenix and become a friend of Phoenix, which you can do via our website, it's £10 a year, and unlike other societies, we run the year from the day you buy the membership.
Right.
All the other societies seem to start from January, whereas we go, your year starts from the day you buy the ticket. And as a friend of Phoenix, you get 10% off opening night tickets, but you also get our newsletter and get to find out what's coming up.
So, you're listening out there, aren't you? I do hope you are. Live theatre matters. Live theatre makes a huge difference for a large number of people, from the young to the old. Just coming together with other people.
Yeah.
Overcoming your fears of actually standing on a stage with an audience.
It's absolutely.
Confidence building.
Yeah.
Company.
It is. I mean, I've always been a theatre, but I've been mainly on the stage, to be fair. And when I was younger, I used to work at Alton Towers as part of the entertainment team there. So I've always been very confident about getting on stage and performing. And I have directed before, but this is the first time that for Phoenix that I've managed to direct, because I've always been, oh no, I'll be on the stage, I'll do it. So it's really nice to actually sit back and help, to direct the others. I have quite a unique, so they tell me, I have a very unique set of when I direct, because I try and get them into my head so they can see my visions, which doesn't always work, but they work very well with me. And then I also like the fact that they'll say to me, well, Jen, what do you think? Can we try it this way? And I think, great, yeah, have a go at doing it that way, because when you're on the stage as an actor, it's nice to be able to put your own thoughts and opinions in, because you might have an idea, and certainly when you read a script, unless it says to be said in a sarcastic manner or to be said whichever way, two different people can interpret a line a completely different way. So the cast will say to me, can we try it this way? We try it another way, and whichever one we think works best is the one that will go in the play.
So very different really to when a film's made, where literally the actor's got to snap into a character in a position, in a role, and do 20 seconds.
Yeah.
With this, you're empowering them.
Absolutely,
in a way.
yeah.
How great to hear that part of your creativity is to be brave enough to let other people
Absolutely.
have an input.
Yeah.
And I suspect even when it comes to the production itself, that some of them will probably surprise you on the night.
Oh yeah,
won't they?
absolutely. And I'll be there every night watching it, and I think I'll watch a different play every night, which will be great.
Oh, it's just absolutely fabulous.
Because I think it's it's important. And then we've got so one of the cast as well. His parents help out. So his mum, she's always our first aider. His dad came along and is now does all the lighting for us. I'm going to be doing the sound on the night, so that's fine. Then we've got all our stage hands backstage helping out. But like I say, because the cast is the set, there's not so much moving on and off of props so much. So.
And you're proving you're a true community.
Absolutely,
group
yeah.
In every respect, which is absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, and like I say, the more the merrier. If other people want to come along and join, see what we're about. We've got 2 plays already for next year. We've already decided what they're going to be, which I suppose I could tell you.
Of course you can.
Oh, okay. So
Why not?
our next 2 plays is the girl on the train, which is quite. It was a book, and then it was a very good film. So there's that one, and then the one we're quite excited. Our family one that we're going to be doing in November is the Vicar of Dibley. That's going to be a fantastic one.
Who's going to be the vicar? You
Well,
haven't got the slightest
we
idea,
haven't.
have you?
No. We want people involved. If people want to come along and they think they quite like to direct.
Ian Arch, who's recently moved to Mid Wales,
Ah.
who was vicar
Okay.
of the sort of joint parish around Hume Moorfield, and he would have made the wonderful character, even though he's of the wrong gender.
Yeah.
That wouldn't matter, but a bit of makeup.
Yeah. Well, again, we don't mind.
Why should the vicar of Dibley be female?
Exactly.
Nobody knows.
But like we've got characters in the Wolves is obviously they were written with males in mind, but we've got females in the part just because look, this is a time that didn't exist, so they could have female doctors, etc.
We mentioned earlier that the arts are under severe pressure at the moment. Live theatre has got great opportunities for a number of people, but my guess is that maybe only 20% of the people who are listening to this feature will have actually attended a theatre in the last 5 or even 10 years. If they've got grandchildren, then maybe they've been to a pantomime.
Yeah, and
pantos actually are still very, very popular.
Are.
Live theatre is under threat.
It is, absolutely.
Is that you can't find the people to do it, or is it a financial consideration? Is it money in schools? Is it time in schools?
I don't know, to be fair. I know that a lot. So obviously GCSEs, students can study drama, and it's really important because I did drama at school, and I think that a lot of the students think that I don't want to be an actor, so what's the point? But it doesn't teach you just that. It teaches you those skills of being able to just have that confidence, be able to talk to people. I've got students now at my school, when I talk to them about drama, they say, I don't want to do it, miss, because I don't want to be an actor. I say, well, you don't need to be. It's, you're learning so many more skills. It's working together as a team as well. It's that important team building skills. And being able to listen to other people's ideas and think, okay, well, how can I adapt that? How can I learn from that? Which will help them in later life. But like you were saying, not everybody will get a chance to come to the theatre. And I think it's really important to come and support the local theatre, and not just us, Phoenix, but all the other companies that put on productions here at the Daneside. And there's nothing more than disheartening than standing on a stage and looking out at 3 people in the audience. But I can guarantee that my cast will give you the best performance they can, whether there's 20 people or 200 people in the audience. We'd love 200 people in the audience, because every production costs. It's not free to put on. When I first started doing amateur theatre, to be fair, I thought, how much do you think it would cost to put on a play? Maybe 100 quid, maybe that. So you're talking sort of £400 or £500 for the licence just to put the play on. And that's, because unless you write it yourself, but then when you write it yourself, people go, I've never heard of that play, I'm not going. Yeah. So you need the plays that people know. So then that costs you the money. You've then got to think about your costume, your set, you know, your lighting, your sound, all that side of things.
Your rehearsals spaces.
Absolutely, and nothing is free. When you put on your production, you know, and we do work on quite a tight budget because we are still a new theatre company. It's not like we've got thousands and thousands in the bank. You know, you're talking 1,500-2,000 to put on a production, which is why you need people in, so that then when they go, wow, what a fantastic production, I wonder what else Phoenix can do, you can come along to the next one because we've got some money to then be able to put the more shows on.
It is so important.
Yeah.
I was talking to Izzy up at Congleton Opera the other day, and of course there's the other place other than Daneside where the most amazing performances of the highest professional standard are put on. And yet, when we went out to food fair out at Rood Hall, we deliberately asked people 2 questions. Have you ever been to Clonter? 1 out of 20.
Yeah.
Do you know about Clonter? Yes, I've driven past it. It's a bit like Daneside Theatre, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, you've got to have keen eyes to notice the sign on the road as you're coming in, and then you see this strange sign with 2 laughing characters, which is comedy and tragedy, isn't it?
Yeah, the theatre masks.
Okay. How many people knows that? The standard sign for theatre is it's 2 masks, comedy and tragedy, which is the essence of, I guess, Shakespearean theatre.
Yes, it is. That's where it's from.
How important it is that we've got these arts performing places in Congleton, and it really is so important, not just at Daneside, at Clonter too, because Clonter is in its 50th year this year and is seeking to find financial support to enable it to continue. We don't want live opera to become like extinct animals.
No, not at
all. We can't afford it, it's too important.
And the thing with, although we are all, everybody that's, you know, or the majority of the people that perform at the Daneside are all amateur productions, you still come away going, these are fantastic plays. But I mean, I live in Sandmatch, and I've spoken to people and they're going, where? Is there a theatre in Congleton? I'm like, there is. And then you say, it's next to the paddling pool.
Does Congleton have a bear?
And it's like, how people don't know, and the theatre's there on your doorstep. I mean, I went to the Lowry last week to see a play there, and it was fantastic, great play, and yes, a professional production, but I didn't get much change out of £80. So, and it's a great, but these are the plays that we want to be able to put on that people will know, but are willing to give us a chance and come and see them.
So go on, do your sales bit now. There are people listening out there. What are you going to tell them?
So come and see The Wolves of Willhoughby Chase. It is a fantastic play. It is quirky, it's humorous, there's some serious bits in it, but it's more important than anything. It's a community theatre group. It's families on stage performing together and putting on a production to entertain people, but also to show you actually how important it is to keep theatre alive, because like I say, we've got all members of the families on there. And one of the things that got me really involved in this was my mum moved to Congleton and she'd come and see me in these productions, and I sadly lost her 4 years ago. But I know that she's there with me, egging me on, going, come on Jen, get this play on the stage, and it'll be absolutely fantastic. I
can tell that you've certainly got the enthusiasm for it, but perhaps you've got the spirit for live theatre as well.
Yes, I have.
And I'm sure that this production is going to be completely amazing. You've got me excited, and I'm just looking at the dates now, from Wednesday the 22nd until Saturday the 25th of November. Plenty of tickets available at the moment.
Well, I'd like to say
what we should say is tickets going fast, shouldn't we?
And they could go even faster if people quickly buy them.
Buy them, And what we will do, we will put out on the Facebook pages of Congleton Radio exactly how to get hold of those, but they can also go to your website, to your Facebook page.
Yes, they can.
And they can get them from there.
Yeah, brilliant.
I think that what we need to do now is to go and talk to a few of the people.
Excellent.
The cast.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
So I thought that what we would do is to have a word with a few of the cast now and talk about the role that they're playing, but also importantly to talk about what they get out of joining a theatre company and working towards a production. So I've got with me Dan. What's your actual role in the play, Dan?
My role is Mr. Grimshaw. I'm one of the baddies, a bit down on my luck and a bit of a fraudster, a bit of a wrong-un.
Bit of a wheeler dealer.
Wheeler dealer, yeah.
Del boy.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
And, I'm responsible for the predicament that the main characters, the two girls, the predicament that they find themselves in.
Okay. I'm sure you're not like that in real life, are you?
Well, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah, we are talking about Congleton.
Yeah.
You've got your friends, but you know those probably don't rate you as highly.
Obviously not. But it is quite a lot of fun pretending to be a baddie for a bit. I am genuinely a very nice guy. Please don't.
He does look to me to be a very nice guy indeed. I'd be quite happy to sort of meet him in a pub and have a conversation. That would be no problem at all.
Yeah, if you're offering, if you're paying.
There we go. Look, I've tried to organise some bacon butties for the crew. I don't know whether I've succeeded, seeing as we've just had the enterprising mayor come in. Let's get back on course. So, how long have you been involved in amateur dramatics?
So, I got involved in my mid-teens sort of years. It really helped me personally, come out of my shell. I think that all kids, if they want to, should get involved in amateur dramatics, because I'm not the confident person that you see today. I was very shy, withdrawn, didn't want to, put my hand up at school, sort of kid. And then I started coming to amateur dramatics. I just went, right, I'll just throw myself in there, basically at the deep end, quite literally. And since then, I was doing shows for the entirety of my youth, then disappeared, went away to uni, discovered girls, and sort of, this all fell away for a little bit.
That's one area where you need the confidence, though, isn't it?
Absolutely. You can't just discover that you can't just sit there and hope that they do a
cute smile and hope that it works. I
don't have a cute smile. Dad just tagged me in a post on Facebook about Phoenix Theatre Group, the company that we're working with at the moment, saying they needed a male of about my age to play a certain role. And I said, why not just get back into it? And since then, I've done every show since. I've directed a show for them, and I've also acted in all the other ones since. So really enjoy it here. Really enjoy the vibe. Obviously, now we've got the esteemed mayor as well, which is great. But just really enjoy the atmosphere and the way that we work here.
I love it. I'm smiling away here because, in truth, I had a similar path through my youth as you.
Okay.
I was absolutely terrified of most things. I was as quiet as a mouse. I was clever, but I was as quiet as a mouse.
Well, you've got that on me. I'm not clever. But
I think everybody's clever, but your clever is different to my clever. If you said to me, right, can you direct a play or something like that, I wouldn't know where to start. I didn't actually know much about interviewing until 6 months ago, but then when you volunteer, because you're confident, then you get into something and you learn, don't you? Mm-hmm. And I guess that's what's so important about an amateur dramatic company, that you're taking all ages. Mm-hmm. I've just listened to a little bit of one of the rehearsals, and there you've got somebody who's 6, 7, and she's playing an important principal role, really, a character role within the play.
And she knows her lines better than I do at the moment as well. It is scary, how quickly these kids can learn. But and that's another great thing for me, is that I love working with kids. I just find their energy and their attitude great. So it's great for me to pass on the joy of theatre.
Yes.
To the next generation of kids. So, if one kid comes away from working on the show thinking, this is brilliant, I love being on stage, I love it, then that would make me eternally happy.
That's absolutely wonderful. We've been talking about that in respect of Congleton Opera too, that somebody I interviewed there, they had an opportunity through the youth contact within Congleton Opera to actually perform, and they've now gone on from there, and they now have got an international career. They're presently performing in Germany.
It is.
We've got route maps out from Congleton. Perhaps Congleton is the birthplace of great actors.
I would certainly argue that.
Or Shakespeare the Second.
Yeah.
Will too.
Yeah.
Why
Bill
not?
the Second. Yeah. No, I'd certainly argue that. Not that I'm biased or anything, but yeah, I do think just genuinely what we've done with Phoenix over the last few years. Every single play that I've worked on, I've enjoyed. I can't think of too many negatives apart from it's stressful when we get to show week and I've not learnt any of my lines and I'm going out on stage and winging it.
I think we all experience that. Anybody who puts on events or anything like that, halfway through planning for the event, you're thinking,
God,
am I going to sell enough tickets?
Yeah.
Have I thought about where they're going to turn up?
But it's the...
But that's fun in itself, isn't it?
100%. You know, that's the adrenaline rush, and then it adds to the euphoria at the end when the final curtain call comes and the curtains close. It just adds to that thrill of, we did it.
And then you have the party afterwards.
Yeah, we won't talk too much about them.
I'm sure it's a very sedative.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Just a couple of Diet Cokes each, and
very appropriate. Very appropriate. Yes. Yes. Jolly good. Listen, absolutely tremendous to hear what you said about the way in which theatre makes a difference, has made a difference for you, and is through you now making a huge difference to many other people, many young people. Yes. I think we might just have another person that we can introduce to this. I'm hoping we'll find somebody younger that we can speak to, but who have you got for me?
So I can bring anyone through.
We were talking about the difference which being involved in a play makes for young people. I've now got a very young person here. I hope you won't mind me calling him a little person, but he's a bit smaller than I am. Your name is Jasper?
Yes.
Lovely. And what's your role in the play?
I am part of the chorus, which involves being mainly a street person and the younger people in the cast being wolves.
And is this the first play that you've actually taken part in, or have you been here for some time?
No, I've done quite a few plays, only 2 with this company, but quite a few separately from different companies.
And what is it that you enjoy about being on the stage?
Normally, I would be scared speaking in front of loads of people, but when I act, I just get into it and do it.
I'm smiling because I had a friend when I was at school, this is when I was about 13, 14, I had a friend who was just like that. Everybody thought he was a bit strange because he was always acting, he was always slightly over the top, slightly noisy, and I met up with him recently. He's now down in Brighton. He's set up his own video production company, but in between he's actually worked for the BBC World Service. He's been doing an amazing number of things, using his acting talents to communicate with other people. So who knows where it'll take you? I can tell. Have you ever thought of performing in Oliver? Because you would be a natural Oliver.
Maybe. I've never actually thought of it, but now you come to mention it, I might consider it.
I think we'll have to have a word and see if there's a possibility there'll be a production of Oliver as a sort of musical, maybe at Clonter Opera.
Yes.
How about that? Do you know about the young people's group that's up at Clonter Opera? They do that with the schools locally. Which school are you at?
Blackfurs Primary School.
Oh, yeah, right, okay, good school. Do they do a lot of acting there?
They do the Christmas panto, but not a lot of other things.
Yeah. I can tell that your sights are set on other things. You really enjoy it. You've got a big smile and you're sort of, I like doing this, it's fun. Is it better than football?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not the biggest fan of football.
You're not the biggest fan of football, but what you can do, you enjoy doing, you're good at, and you want it to go somewhere else.
Yes.
And that's why you joined this theatre group, isn't it?
Yeah, the entirety of my family wanted to act.
Listen, absolutely fabulous, and I'm sure that you're one of many of the young people that are here that are really getting great fun out of what you're doing, and you're really looking forward to the to the actual production itself?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Great. Well, as they say, what do they say when you go on stage? Break a leg. I mentioned the fact that we've actually got people from public life that are involved, and the very person that we have is the new Congleton town mayor, Rob. You, as an actor, how did you get into this?
Basically, me and my wife Helen, we've been coming to Daneside Theatre since I was deputy mayor last year, and I think we've been about 8-9 times now. So I thought, how can I promote the theatre at Daneside? It's such a fantastic community thing. So I thought, I'll go into the next production, Wolves of Willhoughby Chase.
And what happened was that you kind of walked into one of the rehearsals or something like that, and...
Yeah, well, I sat outside, I turned up, the car park was empty. I thought, I can go down the rope walk, down Dane Walk, now and escape. I thought, shall I run or shall I stick it out? And I walked up the stairs, totally out of my comfort zone, and auditioned for the part of the Ofsted Inspector, which I somehow got.
Just a moment, you need to explain this to me. I'm a simple man. It's a play called Wolves of Willhoughby Chase. What on earth has that got to do with an Ofsted Inspector?
No idea. I'm only just learning the play myself, and I was just grateful for getting a part, and it was a short part, so it's good.
It's what they call a bit part, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a few lines, but they've also got me involved with the chorus now that does a bit of singing,
yeah.
Which is quite funny because I was always in the non-singing group at school, so I could actually promote the play and destroy it at the same time when we're singing.
And we've just had a young man in here who looks a spit of Oliver, actually. I've said that the next production ought to be Oliver, actually, because it'd be really good. What would you be in Oliver? The Beadle.
The Beadle.
The Beadle.
Yeah, the Beadle sounds a good one for me.
Rob, I think it just illustrates that you, in your year's role as town mayor, are what I might call the people's mayor. That's not to say that other people haven't been as good, but your heart is to really get to meet the people of Congleton and to encourage them.
100%. That was my election campaign in 2019 to try bring the communities together like it was in the 80s, and I thoroughly believe it's happening now. Especially in Congleton, we got a fantastic community spirit, and it's great to see.
Well, Rob, well done to you, because I know that, you're extremely busy this year. You must be run off your feet with your good lady wife, and you still manage the time to go the extra mile.
Yeah, 100%. I'll always give me all as normal, and I couldn't do anything without the public anyway, and that's what it's all about, all teamwork.
And now you've done this interview for Congleton Radio, we'll let you off of the free bacon butties for the rest of the cast.
That's very kind of you, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rob. We'll let you get on.
Yes, thank you.
So you've met some of the cast, you've met the director. This is all part of the next play which is coming up, and that is called The Wolves of Willhoughby Hall, or was it Willhoughby Chase? One of the two.
I do, please not forget me.
Don't forget to get your tickets. Let's just hear a little bit of the rehearsal, and then you'll get the information again on how to buy them.
We'll be back, I promise.
So when you're retelling the girls saying, well, why did they keep you, go, well, I had to look evil and sullen and, yeah?
Well, I had to look all evil and sullen and nasty.
Yes, like that.
Right,
Great.
Go.
Girls, when James says tidy up, you will tidy the toy box that will be there with a few toys. So we need a few other little toys. It might be this amazing trunk that's going to be used for so many things. Or if anybody's actually got...
We've got a blue suit, a blue
Is it
case.
plastic?
No. It's an old-fashioned looking case, but I decoupaged it with blue paper.
Does it look like a toy box?
Yeah.
Brilliant. We've got a toy box.
What kind of toys do you need?
So the website address is phoenixtheatrecomp.co.uk, and our website is Phoenix Theatre Congleton is the Facebook page.
So there you are, make sure you get to either of those two and buy those tickets.